You might have heard that live shopping is exploding. And I have to tell you, I have been on Whatnot for a couple of weeks now, and I see why it is. Now, Whatnot is my sponsor, and they are the reason I got on the platform and checked it out. I'm glad they did. They made it easy for me. I'm going to make it easy for you. I love it. Whatnot is where you get great products without paying full price. It's that simple. I'm hooked on their live shows, too. You got to see them. They're so much fun. And I see why Whatnot has climbed to the top of the App Store. And listen, if you're selling online, or maybe you have a storefront and you're hoping people will find your listing or maybe walk in your store, Whatnot flips that, because on Whatnot, you go live and you sell directly to people in real time. And I may admit, although you didn't hear from me, I may have picked up a couple of power tools or so in the past couple of days. I'm just saying. Whatnot, it's the largest dedicated live shopping platform with beauty, collectibles, electronics, luxury, fashion, even cookies, and anyone can sell. In fact, people who sell on Whatnot sell 10 times as much as any other major marketplace. That's because you're not just listing products, you're building real connections with buyers. So whether you're shopping or you're selling, download the Whatnot app today and get free shipping on your first order. Just search WHATNOT, Whatnot, in the App Store and start scoring amazing deals. So I was whining to my wife the other day, said, I need new glasses. And she said, well, get some. I couldn't tighten them anymore. They were scratched. You know the thing, right? But I didn't want to go through the process because you have to make the appointment. You have to spend weeks to get them done. And you got to pay a fortune, right? That's real. But I did. I spent $500 on frames and glasses, and that was cheap. And then I ordered a pair from my sponsor, Zenni Optical, for $70. Zenni is an online eyewear shop, prescription glasses, sunglasses, blue light lenses, starting at under $30. You go to Zenni.com, you pick a frame, upload your prescription, and they ship it to your door. No appointment, no store, no upsell at the counter. And by the way, if you are saying, do I really need new glasses, or do I have to put up with one pair to do everything I need to do for the next 2 years? No, you can get what you want starting at under $30. And if you've never bought glasses online, don't worry about it. I haven't either. Zenni has a virtual try-on so you can see exactly how the frame looks before you commit to buying them, with no salesman looking at you saying, those look good, but these expensive ones would look better. No, you don't get that. I'm excited. I can't wait to get my Zenni glasses and tell you more about them. If your glasses are overdue for a refresh, now's the time. Go to Zenni.com/podcast and use the code podcast15 for 15% off your first order. The styles sell out, so don't sit on it. That's Zenni.com/podcast. Promo code podcast15. Happy. How many is that? Happy Friday? Something like that? Somebody told me one time I could do 7 Happy Fridays, and that was it. No more, no less, had to be 7. So happy Friday. Did I break the rule? Not really sure. Do you have a personal constitution? In other words, do you have a document that tells you what to do? You follow that? It's not a bad thing. We'll talk about that a little bit today, because when you know what you know and you've written it down and you follow that path, you tend to do okay. You don't meander all over the place. You get what you want. We'll talk about that a little more as today's show goes on. It is a daily boost from motivationtomove.com, the positive boost you need every single day. Life is going to get in the way. Here it comes. I have my perfect day planned. And then what happened? When I was dating my wife years ago, before she was my wife, when I was just in the persuasion mode, trying to get her to be my wife, we'd go out. Get all dressed up and go out to the nightclub and dance and stuff like that. The old folks nightclub. Well, the 40-ish people in nightclub. We'd go out there and we'd be all excited to go out and have a great night. And some nights it was really great. We'd meet cool people. The food would be fantastic. Everything was just perfect. But the next week we'd go out and we would have repeated the same. Let's go back to the same place and kind of do the same time and kind of do the same thing, right? And we'd get out there and some drunk would show up, or somebody'd hit on her, or I would spill a drink on myself, or somebody would hit on her, or I'd go to the bathroom and I was not feeling really well and come back and find somebody who would hit on her. Is there a theme here? Yeah, she's a beautiful woman. It happens, right? Life gets in the way. It's like, jelly. Yeah, I get all jelly, right? That's what the thing on the radio says. It's like jealous. Yes, I used to get jealous. I don't anymore. The point is this. No matter what you do today, no matter your plans were today or tomorrow, the weekend's coming, whatever it happens to be, something's going to get in your way, get under your skin a little bit, and you got to learn how to deal with that. And we deal with a lot of that on this show. How are you? My name is Scott Smith. I'm the founder, the chief motivating officer here in the flow at motivationtomove.com, doing what I do, which is essentially pulling you through life no matter what gets in the way, as we cover all the time. It's Friday, and I can't let a Friday go. I've actually researched this and talked to a few people lately and surveyed it. I said, listen, you still want me to ask you, how do you want to feel on a Friday? God, yes, remind me to do it because I always forget to ask myself how I want to feel. So it's continuing. In other words, since you're an emotional creature, being human, most humans listen to this show. It's not all humans, but almost everybody listening to the show are humans. But they're emotional creatures, which means when you ask yourself, how do I want to feel? Very cool sentence, very cool question. You have a chance and a choice. You'll be given an answer, and the answer is going to be hopefully a good one. And you can go become that person. Because you know as well as I do, when you get home at the end of the day, what really makes you feel good or bad is how you feel, right? Whatever happened made you feel a certain way, so you might as well choose it. How do you want to feel? Take a few minutes when the show's over and ask yourself that question. Let's talk about a personal constitution. I have one. We'll share my version of it maybe next week for you. But I was on the phone with a client, and she had mentioned that she uses her personal constitution to guide her life. And I'd never actually heard anybody use that term before. Not sure why, because I think I've heard about every term ever used, but I just maybe I missed it a few times. Maybe it's the way she said it. I'm not really sure. But she had a personal constitution. She says she wrote it 25 years ago and has never changed it. So that got my ear. I was like, okay, personal constitution is kind of a cool thing, kind of a document, a who am I document kind of deal. Knowing exactly, that's what I call mine, by the way, who am I. It's a rules. It's how I roll. It's what I do. It's how I react, how I respond. It's all that kind of stuff. And she wrote it 25 years ago, and she's never changed it. And she wasn't very happy, which is why she was working with me. So my first thought is, okay, well, it's really cool to set some rules in place. There's no doubt about that. But you know what? Over time, you do change. And if you find yourself unhappy, you need to update whatever you have decided you are. Because who you thought you were at 18 years old is not who you are at 38 or 48 or 58 or 68. Yes, by definition, a constitution doesn't change. Unless you live in America, and then it seems to change. Sidebar there, but nothing's new about that. But that didn't stop me from asking her if she had ever considered doing what the countries do, amend your constitution. So, amend my constitution? Is that even possible? Yeah, it is. And probably should do it because things change over time. But you shouldn't do it haphazardly, and you shouldn't be forced into doing anything. You shouldn't think you should do it. You should go, and then sit down and really think it through, because your most important beliefs and your core values are what should be in that personal constitution. Your core values, who you are, how you act, what you stand for. Remember those old Western movies, partner? Them's fighting words. Step outside, we're going to have a duel. That's what they stand for. A lot of people lost their lives by fighting for what they stand for, and that's how strong this is. If you have a personal constitution, what you stand for, you'll never back down from anybody. You'll negotiate, you'll talk, but you won't back off your goals until you have learned a little bit and decided that there is an amendment that has to be there. Or likely in many cases, if you're strongly thought it through, you'll say, no, this is who I am. This is what I understand. This is my view of the world, and that's it. You can't change me. But you won't know that unless you write it down. Your core values, what's most important to you. It should not change easily or quickly. It should be changeable, for sure. It should be updatable, for sure, with great consideration before you do that. As you grow older, don't like that one. As you grow wiser, I like that one. And sometimes when you grow older, you grow wiser. But as we've all seen on social media, not all the time. You should be willing to make adjustments based on your past experiences, because that's where all this came from. So imagine this. You're 18 years old. You sit down, you write your personal constitution because you're listening to Scott today and you happen to be 18 years old. And yes, there are more than a few of you out there. And you write it down. As you grow older and wiser, you're going to have some experiences here in the next 10 or 15 years. Family's going to come, jobs are going to change, you're going to move, and you're going to have to sit back and look at things and say, what was I thinking? And all I ask is you always do that. So write down what you personally believe, what are your core values, what guides you. You'll never be happier than when you follow your guiding values. You also probably would never run into more people who you have a little conflict with as well, because we don't all share the same values. But over time, everybody updates their core beliefs anyway. It happens, so you may as well do it consciously rather unconsciously. I will tell you this, if I may share a story with you. As I just mentioned, when you have a strong set of values, you'll bump into people because not everybody shares the same values, and you will bump into them, have a little conflict that nobody likes as you work out where you stand together. That's okay. You'll part with some people because you don't share the same values and beliefs. But if you're really living your life well, you will be attracted to people who are just like you. They will be attracted to you. You guys will roll together as friends and colleagues. A lot of people do it in church. Some people just do it as friends. It doesn't matter. You will hang out with people who have the same belief system that you do. That's just how life is. But always be open to everything. It helps you grow and amend things. All right, let's get out of here. I don't know what's coming up on Monday, but it is a holiday weekend here in America. 4-day weekend. Holy moly. And of course, I was smart enough to tag it onto a 2-week vacation. See, that's Scott logic. You ought to listen more because I know how to do stuff like that. Still, in the meantime, if you have a little time on the weekend, lots of times people are traveling. Go to Facebook, go to dailyboostpodcast.com/Facebook and request entry into my kingdom on Facebook. It's not my kingdom. It's just you guys. We just hang out together, okay? Come on in. Let's have some fun. And if you'd like to get this podcast commercial-free, join me for Boost Coaching, have me send you a daily email, have me send you a daily text based on that day's podcast. That's called Daily Boost Premium. A lot of you already have it. Thank you for that. If you don't, go to dailyboostpremium.com, get signed up. It's very inexpensive and very powerful for you. That's a promise.